Hey, this is Patrick Durkin from the Wellness Enterprise, and I've been in a video meeting this morning that just turned into it has to be a recording, and so it's not very well prepared, but that doesn't matter. The essence of it's going to be beautiful. So I'm here today with Oded Mansura. He's been a collaborator in the structured water world with us for, geez, I don't know how many years, 7, 8 years, something like that. It's been a
Yeah.
long time. We've been through a lot together, and Oded was just telling me about some of his personal journey, and I want to unfold that for you guys. He's in Israel, and by the way, if anybody watches this in Israel and wants to get in contact with Oded, his email address is going to be under this video on YouTube. So just go down there and get in touch with him directly. But anyway, Oded, let's get into the heart of the matter, because you have had such a extreme journey of inner and outer worlds right now. So, just in a moment or two, like tell people a little bit about what you're living with on a daily basis from the external world environment, the war situation around you.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, we are in the midst of the fire right now. From the south, from the north, it is unbearable for any person to sustain and be in such a threat on a daily basis that everything that you have built throughout your life is in questions. So it's such a stressful condition for many people. And unfortunately, as a healer, I meet a lot of people, they basically are losing it. They don't have the capacity to hold that level of attention, which is it's such a high tension because everything that you have believed in throughout your life is crumbling and you're facing the lie that has been told for so many years. And most people are not ready for that. And it is sad to see how the suffering they are going through, and basically there is no one there to take care of them. And so I try to do my best to ease the condition as much as I can from many perspectives, whether from the spiritual perspective, from the water perspective, and hopefully through the cognitive and mental uh, respective, because we do need each other at these horrible times.
Yeah,
So
for sure. One of the things you shared on the earlier part of this call before we started recording is that you've been training for your lifetime to be
yeah.
ready for now. And so tell us about the recent experience you had with your health and what you came to understand after it happened about what it was teaching you.
Yeah, so as a shamanic healer, I would say that I have trained myself for many years, even over 30 years, to basically have a vehicle to have a greater capacity to hold tension. Because how can you test myself? You always have to have a reality check in order to see if your training have definitely have supported your understanding of what life is. So about 2 months ago, as a reality check that I eventually understood that was all about, I by mistake drank hydrochloric acid that burned all my throat down to my stomach. And I had to hospitalize myself because I couldn't talk for many days. I was in agony and pain like I won't recommend it to my enemies. And I definitely thought that I'm not sure if I ever be able to restore my ability to talk. And I unfortunately had to accept within myself that I can end up being crippled, by that action because it was very agonizing. But fortunately, a miracle happened. Within 3 days, my body restored itself to complete health. And it was really a miracle. And when I consulted my guidance, my inner guidance, they told me that that was water initiation, basically, or in fact, it's a fire initiation. to see if the water within my body that I have upgraded throughout the years through the different means that your company, Patrick, most likely have created, and other means that I spiritually doing, if my body can walk through the fire without being burned to ashes or without being crippled, that I had to go through that because I've been preaching about water for so many years. So I needed that test to see if I can really walk my talk, because I have to have an inner strength to deliver this message to people and be able to speak from my own experience. So I was tried from that aspect. So knowing that, I'm very happy that I've had that, because I really want to know for myself more than anyone else that water can put fire off. And as we know, we live in a world of fire. There's fire everywhere. Everything is on fire. So what I can do is make sure that my water capacity and energy level can balance the fire, because I cannot stop the fire. So I can only raise the water vibration within my body to somehow keep the fire at bay. And because once the fire takes over, it translates into inflation, diseases, cancer, God forbid, and so forth. So obviously, the water within your body is sick. Sickness is all about the water geometry within your body is broken. If you have the capacity to restore it somehow, your body will be more than happy to restore your health. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I'm so moved by the intensity of your internal journey and your external journey. To be in a country that's experiencing war, and then to have burned down your throat and into your stomach. It's just amazing. And I've never heard anybody quite speak about it the way you did, about the vibration, the frequency of the
Mhm.
water in your body. Not like drinking water, like I've got the best structured water device and I'm drinking it, but like I've been working for years with my spiritual practices and my shamanic work, and drinking structured water, all of it together to strengthen that water. And then this test comes along and you met it, right? You went from hospitalized to miraculous recovery in 3 days. So now there's also, like, I love that you had that internal experience to share with us, right? Amazing.
Mhm.
But then
Mhm.
you also, what prompted me to want to record this is that you started talking about water as your protector right now in this world that you're going to turn back to after this call, where you're living in a war-torn country and you see your protection coming from water. And I love that concept. What would you share with people to teach them a different perspective about how you've evolved over so many years to understand that water can help them pacify themselves in this external world gone crazy?
Yeah, it is a very good point. I always go back to the biblical story that gives me a lot of strength and inner vision, because if you remember, when the Israelites left the diaspora, they left Egypt, and facing the promised land, they have to cross the desert. And after quite a while traveling the desert, they scream out their heart to Moses, the water are bitters. The water are poisonous. They are bitter. What are you doing to us? So he talked to God and tell, what is happening? So God tell him, throw a stick into the water and the water will be fresh again. And then after quite a while, wandering the desert, they screamed to Moses, the water are bitter, the water are bitter. It happened 3 times. What that means for me, because as they go into the desert, which is the desert of life, the fire is getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So you constantly have to raise the consciousness and the vibration of water to meet the fire going stronger and stronger to balance it. Otherwise, it burns you. So Moses was asked to raise each time the vibration of the water to meet the fire, to keep you to keep your sanity intact, because otherwise it's completely insane, and that would drove people insane from that sense. And after the water has been mitigated and softened, they have restored their consciousness. So I see that as a secret unveiled, basically, to help us cross life in and keep your sanity intact, because it is so easy to lose it. So in my personal life, it just happened. I didn't ask for it, but I found out that 80% of my energy intake throughout the day comes from water. I basically eat water. And for some reason, my body tells me we don't need to eat. So I found myself throughout the year, eat less, 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 and less. And I love to eat. But because the water gives me so much energy, then the water basically, my body basically is very happy with having so much less energy from food. Because once you train your body that you can be charged with energy through water, why should he go into food? If he knows that he gets energy only for food, he always will go into food. But once you teach the body, and the body would love it, because he has to put less energy to extract energy from water than he puts into food. So he would like to replace that. And that's what happens to me. And it's amazing that it can sustain my body with ease, and obviously sustain your energy, because you waste less and less energy. And my energy level throughout the day is unbelievable. I need less and less sleep and so forth. So that's something very interesting that I highly appreciate and share with people, because as you can tell, as we learn all together, that the base root of all diseases is dehydration. So people are basically drowning within their body, because the body accumulates all the water that it couldn't process, and that eventually caused them to inflate more and more. They gain weight, and they eventually lose the electrical conductivity within their body, because the water that are now accumulating between the cells, interfering with signaling, and that's causing a lot of disorders and dissonance. So once you have the right water, this is like having a web of optic nerves, that are instantly delivering the messages, and the signaling is working. So everything basically upgraded itself, and we need that now more than anything else, because we're facing such a turmoil, in a sense, for whatever reasons. But it is a test, a reality test, to see if anything you've trained throughout your life, all your spiritual teaching and training, can it meet the needs of today? And I'm happy to say that I'm completely happy with where I am now, in spite of all the turmoil around me. I don't know if that answers your questions.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I mean, it's one thing to be living a fairly comfortable life like I am, where I'm, reasonably healthy and reasonably safe, and, access to a community that supports life is available, and to have a theory that water helps with our evolution, and that
Mhm.
I'm raising my consciousness and doing things with water. But you contrast that with burning your esophagus and having, bombs and missiles going off in your country. That's a whole different level. And so for you to be living that, it's just completely inspiring. So, I appreciate that you might be loyal in this conversation to the aqua energizers and our structured water devices, but there's such a bigger topic here I want to make sure we pull out, right? So I know structured water devices are part of your practice of upgrading your
Mhm.
experience around water, but please tell us like the other pieces too, because I know it's not isolated, and I know you do a lot of deep work, and I want people to have some reason to know more about if they want to contact you, what kind of things you're doing personally and professionally around raising the vibration of water in and around you. Please talk about your practices.
Yeah, I was fortunate in a sense to travel into other dimensions, you know, obviously not consciously I did it. It just happened. Somehow you are being lifted into other dimensions, which is a very scary experience, but yet very fulfilling after a while. And I was given the information to bring down here. And when I asked why me, they told me, you have asked for it because you've asked to know the secrets of the DNA. And truly, yeah, I asked as a healer, I want to know the secrets of the DNA. And I was given the secrets of the DNA, but from the perspective of the secrets of the Hebrew letters, the codes of the Hebrew letters, and how the Hebrew letters are mingling together and co-creating our bodies and evolving our consciousness, which is it's very interesting. So I'm working with it, and I can look at a person's name, and I can see the letters, and I can see which letter are stuck and which letters are causing the problem within his body, because your name is who you are, basically. So every letter within your name is a link to your divine self. And if this grid is blocked, you obviously will feel some problem. So I somehow been taught how to heal it, how to help to open this field and to pour down into you and to align yourself with who you are. But in one word, people ask me, what do I do? I basically tell you, if you want to go through a session with us, it's only on one condition. You no longer fix yourself, you have to replace yourself, which means you have to upgrade your operating system. You can no longer fix it, because it's like having your Ferrari stuck in a desert. You try to fix it and fix it and fix it and wonder why, you cannot go further. So as a humanity, we're at a place where we need to completely reset ourselves, to shift consciousness completely. I'd like to call it to help yourself get out of your mind. Please help yourself to get out of the mind, because your mind is so much more than you can ever conceive. And only when you step out of the mind, you have finally ability to get in touch with who you really are, because your mind can lock itself into an image that you adopt to it and you attach to it, and that eventually won't support you in life and won't help you to fulfill the true meaning why we're here. So basically I teach people, I don't fix them, I just teach them a language that will help them to process themselves within themselves, to better communicate with the outside world and better communicate with their higher self, so they feel a much more complete. And we need here a language, because we all speak the Babylon language. It's a Babylon language that is inflicted with viruses. The viruses are embedded in our language without us knowing, that is causing mental parasites to control our language. And then the Matrix or whoever out there don't need to look after you, because you already have a built-in mechanism that will weaken you eventually and make you sick. So I like to say, I teach people the language that will help them to unwind all these crooked languages and matrices. And I was giving it from, my higher self, from my family, spiritual family. I didn't learn it here because no one speak about this here. So
And
that's
so,
what I do.
we're familiar with Dr. Emoto's teachings around the world now, and the way language impacts water. And
Yeah, obviously.
so you're describing a process of changing the way you talk and think, yeah,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a way to change the water in your body to help meet these
Yeah,
calls.
you have to have the water to make a connection. The water within your body is the grid that deliver the messages. And the higher the quality of the water, you are more in sync. Diseases is being out of sync, a dissonant within yourself because the water are sick. Sickness is always the water are sick. The blueprint of this body is made of water ions. So when the geometry of water within your body is broken, that's it's just a matter of time that the body is going to be broken and get sick. So we have to upgrade the water constantly, and for that reason I have a whole teaching of how to drink water. It's not enough to drink good water. You have to know how to drink it. I basically teach people you have to eat your water, and to eat your water is to coordinate drinking your water, chewing your water, and breathing your water. I coordinate breathing and chewing the water. And when you do that, you infuse so much more oxygen by breathing into the water. You allow the water to expand so much more. You increase the surface tension of the water. You lower the surface tension, and you allow the water to accept more and more and more information that you want to further deliver into your body. And that gives you so much energy. I'm telling you, you will need to eat. So it is an art for itself.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got the language and the thinking. We've got the method of consuming in the water, and then we have the structuring of the water. Are there any other like aspects, domains in your practices that help you to constantly be raising the vibration of your water?
Breathing.
Breathing.
Breathing is, wow, it's a gift because, unfortunately, we're never being taught how to breathe. So by, learning how to join the breathing into the water within your body, I cannot even describe this experience, but it's like constantly being in the center. Breathing helps you to maintain your center, because as you know, once you are in stress condition, it instantly affects your breathing. When you're angry, when you're stressed, when you're depressed, instantly change your breathing and affect your breathing. But if you can maintain, I call it the tree of life breathing, is a certain type of breathing, which it's basically in the shape of 8. When I breathe, I take my stomach in. My diaphragm is going up and my chest expand. It's like having a sine wave. Stomach in, the diaphragm goes up and your chest expand. And when I exhale, the chest down, the diaphragm down, and the stomach, go to natural state. So I'm constantly breathing in an 8 figure, and it's up and down. It's vertical. It's not horizontal. As we are talking from the very beginning, we're already talking an hour, I'm constantly aware of my breathing, constantly. I cannot help it. Really, I cannot help it. My breathing controlled me. Let's put it this way. So it's a gift, and I think it's a missing link in a sense for many, many, many people somehow connect the breathing to empower the water more and more and more to healing, because eventually water is the medicine of the future.
Yeah, we've heard that, and you're bringing it to life. You're really bridging the gap. So I thank you so much for sharing your story and giving us some insights about where to look, like in this physical world now, inside of these extraordinary circumstances. Here you are meeting this, and you're opening the door. So I want everybody to know that you're Oded Mansura. You're now stocking Aqua Energizers in Israel, and
Mhm.
if anybody is interested in anything from the Wellness Enterprise in Israel, then Oded's the guy to go to, and his email is underneath this video. And most of all, I just thank you for your courage as a human being. You really are meeting the test of life, and I admire what you're doing. Thanks, Oded.
Yeah, appreciate your work just as well, and we'll make it together and help more and more people to realize what they maybe still don't know what they really want, and we give them this experience to better know themselves.
Yeah, help people get what they really need, despite what they think they want. Right?
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Big learning for
Yeah,
all of us all the time, and it keeps going.
yeah, Yofi. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.